How are you guys? To all the players out there that have been listening to our podcast, you guys have made it to episode number 33 with the czar of dating and the texting prince, also known as Adam. Today's topic: why you guys should be a player, a playa.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death. This is Sparta! Sparta! Put on the whole armor of
game.
This is where we fight! And these shield boys!
Now, before we get into the podcast, just remember we have our private community called the Players University. If you guys sign up before April 15th, and the link is in the bio of the podcast as well, you will get a special discount. It's a private community of like-minded men who want to learn the game. We have some amazing players in that group. Men that have already been getting women, already been getting laid. Women are chasing them. They're learning the game very quickly. So if you want a private community where you have me and Adam 24/7, you guys have access to us. You can ask us any questions, any topics you want us to discuss on the podcast as well. You get first dibs. You get the special treatment. But we will answer any type of screenshots you have of your text messaging game where you went wrong. We also have success stories on there as well. We love to hear from you guys. And as you know, Adam is the texting prince. He calls himself the prince, but he really is the texting king. So if you guys want to learn the texting game, he's there for you. If you want to learn inner game, passing her test, what to say, we're both there for you as well. So make sure you guys sign up. It's a great community before April 15th. And we also have a special Q&A for all of our members once a month. The first Q&A will start at the end of April, where we will go live. It will also be recorded, right, Adam?
Yep, live recorded. So any members in there will get to come on live with us, ask any specific questions, and all that will be kept archived in the players community. So when you come in, even if you come in later at a later date, you'll have these recordings to look through, other guys asking questions that you probably had yourself, or a lot of times a guy asks a question that you didn't even think you had, and then you hear that question and you're like, oh, wow, it's a great question. And now you get the answer, the feedback, and the specific scenarios broken down for you inside Players Community.
And we will actually break down some of your text messaging game. I know, Adam, you just broke down one of the members that actually took our seminar. He's still taking it. We have our last one tomorrow night. But he made a big mistake with chasing a woman after she tried canceling on him, or as we call flaking. And he made all the crucial mistakes, and Adam made a 30-minute video breaking it down, and he learned very quickly from that.
Yeah, so you're going to learn from your own questions, but you're going to learn a lot from the other questions that guys have in there. And then guys are asking these questions, and I go in there and I'm like, oh, Czar already had this great answer, or another member already had this great answer. So now you have all these different minds critiquing, breaking down your scenarios, giving you advice to help you move forward 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Someone's in there to help you out.
You guys get to harass us whenever you want, and we will answer you. It might not be right away, but we will get to you guys. And that's why this episode is so important, why you need to be a player. That's why we developed the Players University. Every man has to become a player before they get into a relationship. And we'll break that down. I just want to break down the word player. Now, Adam, we don't mean treating women with disrespect or treating them like shit. That's not what we mean by being a player. Being a player means you just understand the game. You have knowledge of the game. You know how to attract, seduce women. You know how to keep women, how to pass their tests. You know how to handle when they're being disrespectful to you. That's what we mean. You understand the game. And you had a great metaphor as well that you can correlate it to with the basketball players.
Yeah, being a true player, like Zar said, doesn't mean you're out there just to play with women's hearts. It's not mean you're out there trying to break women's hearts. Being a true player is how I think the two greatest basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan, number one, Kobe Bryant, number two, to me. And those guys are true players of the game, which means that they play nonstop as hard as possible until the whistle blows every single time. They have that much respect for the game that they're putting their full effort in every single time they're on the court. So being a true player means that you understand the game, you respect the game, and you play the game all the time with women, even after you get in a relationship. A lot of guys think, oh, I got in a relationship, the games are over. Well, being a true player is like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant stepping on the basketball court. They're ready to go and they're ready to give 120% every single time they play the game. That is a true player. They are a student of the game and they take pride in their ability to put out their best product every single time they step on the court.
And for all the guys, and we get this a lot, Adam, oh, but I don't want to be a player. I don't want to be a playboy. I just want to meet one woman. I want to meet the right one, the perfect woman, and I just want to be with her. I look at these guys and I'm like, bro, before you meet the right one, you better understand the game and be a player first. You better have dated at least 50 to 100 women within your lifetime. I've done it starting at age 17. I started a little later, age 17. That's when you start picking up the game. That's when you become a master. You cannot become a master unless you practice and you play the field. You cannot be on the sidelines, which is what most men want to do nowadays, expecting to become successful with women. Persistence and consistency will always triumph over any other quality when it comes to success. Persistence and consistency. So when we were getting rejected, when we were going through our heartbreaks, we were still persistent. We didn't give up. We took those bruises. We still have those scars. And you guys should know women love a man that has scars. But we do not like women that have scars because we're different once again. So when you build up your scar tissue, it gives you something called detachment. That's very important. So when we build up our scar tissue, Adam, we become detached. What I mean from that is we're not trying to hold on to any woman that wants to leave us. The door is always open. We don't care. That's what happens when you build up your scar tissue. But guys mess up because they become so needy. They become so possessive. When a girl pulls back, they start chasing her. They start bowing down to her. They start crying, getting all emotional. I need you in my life. I can't live without you. I'm going to off myself if you leave me. You're never gonna be successful with women by doing barnacle activities like that. It's not going to happen. So you need to learn the game. You need to build up your scar tissue, get rejected, get hurt. This is what makes you a master in the game. Like Kobe Bryant, like Michael Jordan. That's why they were such great basketball players.
Yeah, exactly. And if you think about, okay, why is being a player so even admired to women when we're teaching you guys to become players? Because women and men are different. Remember, women are built to want the highest status man, the highest possible man that she feels she can get commitment from. Because if a woman gets pregnant, she's idle for 9 months. She can only let the best inside of her for 9 months. And so she needs to choose. She needs to be choosy with her selection. So women want men that are respected by other men, and women want men that are wanted by other women. That's how she can pick and choose the best possible man to potentially impregnate her and get her idol for 9 months. Where us men, on the other hand, we can shoot our seed. We could get 3 different girls pregnant a night if we wanted to. Our, biological drive is different from women. We want to keep our lifeline going. So we want to shoot our seed as much as possible. But since women have to be more selective because of their dating strategy, you've got to understand the women's approach to the game. Women want, again, men that are wanted by other women and respected by other men. So even if you want to shoot your seed every which way, you got to think about what you're going for, what you're trying to attract. You're trying to attract women. So understanding their weaknesses, understanding what gets them attracted to men is important. Just like if Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan came into the league, they're studying the best players in the game, going, what's their weakness? How can I exploit that? How can I attack that? Well, understanding women are your target audience right here in the dating game. You got to understand women want men that are wanted by other women and respected by other men. So knowing that, that is your game plan going forward of how to attract and seduce women.
People will automatically judge you by the woman that is standing next to you, by the woman you show up to at that family event, at that party, at that lounge, at that sports event. Everywhere you go, there's a saying, right? I've heard this before, that the best jewelry that a man can ever wear is a beautiful woman. The best jewelry. And men are sizing you up. They're trying to see what kind of a man you are, because your woman is a reflection of who you are as a man. But a lot of guys, they want to jump from point A to point Z without doing any of the steps in between. And this is what irks me the most. They don't want to put in that work like we did. They just want an easy fix. And you can't just skip foreplay with a woman, because this is exactly what you guys are trying to do. Okay? You want everything to be easy. Becoming a player, it took time for me and Adam here and many other great dating coaches. It didn't happen overnight. We had our heartbreaks. We've been manipulated. We've been cheated on. We've been disrespected. We've been beta male barnacles early in the game. We're not perfect. This is how we became players, because we went through those phases. It's easier to get women, get laid, pump and dump like many of you guys enjoy doing. But it requires so much more game to keep the 9s and 10s interested in the long run. It takes a lot more game. And this is what I used to have the most trouble with. I could attract all these women, but I did not know how to keep them until I finally developed the skills, the knowledge, the experience to learn how to keep these women. So my advice to you guys is, the younger you are, the younger you play the field, the better it will be for you in the long run. It's never too late to learn the game, but the younger you are now, learn the game when you are young, because when you reach 40, like I have a lot of family members, people that I know, we talked about this before, Adam, they chased success, they chased money, which is understandable. I mean, you should be doing that. But at the same time, they didn't have any game. They never got women. So what happens now is they have all this money, all the success, they have the beautiful home, but they're miserable, they're depressed, they're lonely. They end up paying for the vajuju, for the el gato. They end up paying for a woman's attention. They end up marrying these energy vampires, these women that just view them as an ATM. And great examples are Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. Guys think that you just need money to get women, you just need success. How come these guys are all successful and they still get divorced? They still get used and abused, disrespected, and taken advantage of. I guarantee you they're depressed and lonely on the inside, because I'll tell you what, I learned this growing up, right? And I learned this as well. And I'll give you a great example of this. It is a need. It's a need in men to be able to attract, seduce, and conquer women. As a masculine man, that is one of your needs. And if you don't fulfill it, guess what? You're never going to have confidence in life. With the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, there is a direct correlation with the men who get laid, who get beautiful women, and how confident they are on the outside. That is hardwired in us men. The first time you guys got laid, I still remember the first time I got laid, and I'm sure you do as well, Adam, right? Tell me how confident you guys were right after. Tell me how confident you felt right after. You had this new swagger you were walking with. You had this new era of competence, this new air of confidence, this new attitude about yourself, this new glow. Do you remember that time? I'll never forget that time when I first got laid. So there's a direct correlation. Okay. All these issues that are going on in the world with men acting out emotionally, or men that take advantage of younger children, men that take advantage of the weak, they don't know and they can't attract the opposite sex. They can't attract beautiful women. That's why they're doing all those negative things. They don't know how to get women. There's a direct correlation with getting women, being happy, and being confident. Women can intuitively tell which man gets beautiful women. Like you said, Adam, it's hardwired in them. They want what's best for them. They want the alpha, the guy that has pre-selection that can get beautiful women. We all know they'll never admit this, but even on the Fresh and Fit podcast, Adam, remember when they went around the room asking women whether they would want a seasoned man or a man that didn't have experience with women? They all chose the seasoned man, the guy that gets laid. Not one girl chose the virgin guy. And I guarantee you that's across the board. That is across the board. But conversely, we all want the woman that's a virgin or has a low body count. And that's part of the game, guys.
Even Michael Jordan wasn't born Michael Jordan. He even mentioned it was the first, I think, championship that he won with North Carolina, Michael Jordan, when he hit the game-winning shot. And he said before that shot, he was Mike Jordan. After that shot, he had the confidence to become Michael Jordan. Once he hit that shot, he started to realize, I can play with these guys. I got the confidence. And now he gets born into the league. And right, he wasn't a success the minute he came to the league. He was a great player, but they didn't win championships. But the thing with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant was, if another man stepped on the court, I heard this about Kobe Bryant his rookie year. He wanted the best veteran on his team on the court, and he said, I want to play one-on-one with you afterwards, after practice. Because what Kobe and Jordan did different from a lot of guys is they see someone that's better than them, and they go, I want to prove myself. I want to get better so that I am now the best player out here. They didn't cower away from competition. They said, oh, you think you're hot stuff? Well, let me show you what's hot stuff. And they go, we're going one-on-one now. Let's see who's really better. They had this type of ego in a good way that was like, I'm not going to settle for being second best. So when I think about dating women or going out with women, I think about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. It's like, if I step on the court, I'm putting my reputation on the line. I'm going to put my best game forward, no matter the situation. You might have heard of like the famous Jordan flu game where he had a flu and all that. And he still put up this great performance, right? Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant had the mindset that if somebody in the stands paid me to watch me play, I owe it to them to give 120% every time I step on the court, because I want them to show what they paid for. I want to live up to the name that I've created for myself. And so again, a true player is like going, hey, maybe I don't feel like it today. Maybe I have a stomach ache. Maybe I'm a little tired today. But when I go out on this date, I'm going to put out my best foot forward every time I step on the game. And if there's a woman that I get on a date with that somehow outgames me, she's quicker than I am, she says something I wasn't ready for, that doesn't intimidate me. That makes me go back to the drawing board, and it reignites me. It goes, oh, this is awesome. This girl threw something at me I wasn't expected. Good. Now I can game plan because I want to be the best. And again, that's how Jordan and Kobe thought about everything. That's what I loved about the old NBA, is even the All-Star games. Nowadays, the All-Star games are just a break and people just go and have fun. You go watch when Kobe and Jordan played in those All-Star games, they took pride to a whole new level. They're like, I don't care if it's an All-Star game. I'm going to show you I am the best of these All-Stars. And they played 120%, not like the soft NBA these days. I'm going to say LeBum James, all those LeBron fans out there. No, I don't think LeBron's a true player like Kobe and Jordan, because those guys had a different mindset. They were just like, no days off. I am going to become the best. And if I miss a couple shots that I know I should have hit, you're on a date and you stumble a few times. You're like, dang, I wasn't as smooth as I wanted to be. Well, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are spending the next 2 hours after that game ends shooting 3-pointers, shooting free throws, repracticing the things that they missed in that game because they're obsessed with becoming the best that they can actually be. That is the mindset of a true player.
Very well said. Very, very well said right there. I hope you guys all took notes. And that's very important. That's what separated them from all the other average players who were boring. They brought something else to the table. They were different, and people can see that. You have to be different when it comes to women. Where a woman looks at you when she's out on a date, or she can come back to your place, or she can even text you and tell you, you're so different. I don't know what it is about you. You're different from all the other guys she's met because you know the game. You have your own sense of style. I'm not telling you to be like me or like Adam, but you eventually have to develop your own sense of style. And there's a rule in chess. The first rule in chess that I like to think of, you're only going to get better by playing someone better than you. You're never going to get better in chess by playing someone who is below you. It's never going to happen. So that's a great masculine trait to have, is to understand that if you meet someone that's better than you at something, ask them how they did it. Take notes. Ask them questions. Learn from them. Don't hate on that person, because envy and jealousy, those are feminine traits. But go up to them and embrace them. Look up to these people and learn how they did it. Learn how we did it. That's why we created the Players University for you guys to join. The younger you are, the better it is. You're only going to learn from that moment on. And remember, sign up before April 15th. Get the early bird special. And one thing I want to talk about, a man who is good with women, guess what? He's also good with sales. He's good with communicating with others, whether that's in business or in group settings. If you understand women, you know how to attract women, you know how to talk to women, you are good in sales. You're good with communicating with everyone around you. I know I am. I'm sure Adam is. I don't know his personal life. But when you go out, are you scared of talking to anyone? No, because women were probably the scariest thing we ever had to talk to. So if you can handle women and all the things they throw at you, their beautiful mind, the puzzle piece that we had to put together, who cares about another guy that you meet? Or if you're in a group setting, it's nothing to you. You do it with ease.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said about the better than them thing, is like trying to learn from people better than you. It's been, again, I know there's great people online and all that stuff, but in my personal life, since I was probably 24 years old, I've never ran into somebody that I thought had better game than me in person. But I've ran into guys that were good with women. And no matter what happens, I don't even care if I've never met the guy. If I see a guy and I'm like, I watch him, I see him talk with women, and I see, oh, these girls are into him and all that stuff. I always will do this no matter what. Even to this day, I'll go up to that guy later and be like, hey, man, those girls looked really into you. What did you say to them? And I'll ask them questions. I'll pick their brain. I want to learn from guys that I think have things to learn from. I'm always a student of the game, just like Kobe and Jordan. Kobe sat there and learned from Jordan. He learned the different, where to place your feet on the step back. How do you do the turnaround? The best players want to learn from the better players, and they want to pick their brains and pick and choose, how can I use that to get better than them? I love that mindset. So anytime I see a guy that I'm like, that's pretty, okay, that girl was interested, I ask him, what did he say to her? And I just start to pick his brain, and I become a learner. And I just want to see, what can I gain from this guy, because I want to increase my repertoire. I never want to stay stagnant. It even goes to, like, right now I love playing pickleball, and I'm a pretty good pickleball player. But when I play people that are worse than me at pickleball, I still enjoy the game, but it's a kind of a different mindset. I'm just there kind of running through their team, playing the game. When I play somebody that's better than me in pickleball, I love that. I love when I hit a shot and some guy hits a great shot back and he beats me. That motivates me. That's like, this is exciting. I got more to learn. And then after that game, I go up to that guy and I'd be like, hey, what weaknesses did you see in my game? Or how did you know to take that shot here instead of there? And I'm constantly trying to take my best game, match it up against other people's, and then I'm trying to learn and improve that game no matter what I do. And with dating with women, arguably one of the most important skills, because when you get good, social skills, you're good with, like Czar said, sales, just people in general. When I see someone that does something well, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to talk it through. I'm not afraid to pick their brain, ask for advice, because I want to become the best at whatever I do, period. Whether it's pickleball, golf, or getting better with women, I'm always looking to add to my skills. Even if I think I know it all, I'm like, no, I know enough that there's people that know better than me, or different areas I could do this, a different way I could say this. So my mind's always open to improve. That is that constant student of the game. A true player is a student of the game through and through.
And you also go out of your comfort zone. You learn how to get out of your comfort zone, fellas, which is very important. And we can talk about that later. A player knows what a woman is about upon meeting her. So, Adam, when you meet a woman, when you see her from a distance, before you even approach her or you say anything to her, I have a hunch that you pretty much know a lot about this woman, whether she's promiscuous, what she's looking for, the way she carries herself based off the tattoos she has, how high her self-esteem is, how low her confidence is. Me and you can pick up on these things. I would assume you do know, right?
Yeah.
With the experience
Yeah,
you
I have a general idea, at least, of how I want to approach any woman. There's just all of her style. Is she talkative? Is she social? Does she look a little stuck up? How are other people around her looking at her? I get some type of image of the girl just by being around her, because I've done this so long.
Exactly. So with being a player, you guys can read women very well. You can read them like a children's book, no problem. So when you get in a relationship and you don't have any experience, you're not a player, you never learned the game, you will never survive with a woman. Ask me how I know, because I was once you when I was 20 years old, even younger than that, when I was 17 years old in high school, my first relationship ever. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Had no idea. But now, from learning from those mistakes, those heartbreaks, women can't play me, they can't manipulate me, they can't disrespect me, because I've become witty like a fox. You learn how to avoid traps like a fox does. And you also become bold and fearless like a lion. You're not scared to call out a woman for her disrespectful behavior like you used to be when you were younger, when you didn't have game, when you would tolerate disrespect. That's why being a player is very important. That's why one of my logos, if you guys notice, is a lion fusing with a fox, because you have to be witty like a fox, fearless and bold like a lion. That's when you
I like
become a
that.
true master at the game. When you become a true master at the game and a master player, you've earned that. You've earned the fox, you've earned the lion, because women can't fuck with you. Because what happens is a lot of guys get into a relationship or they start dating a girl and the girl pulls back. They don't know how to act. The guys have no idea what the fuck to do. They think it was something they did. They have to start chasing her, apologizing, writing her love letters, saying I'm sorry, buying her a gift, and you just keep pushing her further and further away. I used to be that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And so here might help some guys that aren't there yet. Maybe you're still looking for your first girl, and it's a different story than playing the field when you're just looking for that first girl. But when I was probably in my best of my best game, my schedule looked like this. So I was working a full-time job being a teacher, teaching second grade. So I had my 9 to 5 job. And then I was starting this business on the side, and I was juggling about 4 to 5 women a week while this was all going on. And so if you think about, okay, you're not a player yet, imagine how would you react to women if your schedule was you wake up at 5 a.m., you go to the gym for 1 hour, You come back, you do a 15-minute meditation or visualization about goals you want to see in your future. You go straight to your 9 to 5 job. Right after that, you want to spend any free time you can, an hour or two after that, improving your side business you're working on. And then 7:30 or 8 p.m. rolls around and you have a new date set up. So my schedule for months at a time during probably my busiest player schedule was 5 a.m. till about 6 p.m. was nothing but working out, going to work, working on my side business. And then I would have a date roll around about 7 or 8 p.m. of a different girl where if I have 4 to 5 girls a week, I can only see them once a week. So now when those nights roll around, it's 7, 8 p.m. and I'm about to go on a date. There were many times where I was so tired that if a woman happened to text me and say, "Oh, I'm not feeling well, I got to cancel on you," it was a relief for me. I was like, "Hey, no problem. We can try to figure out something again, next week or, 2 weeks from now." Because my schedule could only allow for me being able to set, right? 4 to 5 girls plus that busy job. How can I squeeze this girl in? So now when a girl cancels on me, it was a relief. I was like, I get a day off to relax. Maybe I can watch some Netflix. Maybe I can work a little bit more on my business now. But it wasn't me chasing and trying to convince this girl to hang out. Even when you are seeing a girl and it goes well, and that girl wants to hang out again the next day or two, it's like, I can't. Sorry. Hey, next week, what are you doing next Thursday or next Friday? I might be available. That was a type of schedule. And I could juggle these 4 to 5 different women for months at a time by hanging out with them once a week. But for you guys that are just texting that one girl, how would you be texting her? How would you be setting up dates if you had from 5 a.m. till 6 p.m. absolutely no time? Maybe at lunch you could squeeze off a text or two to a girl, but you have all that time where you can't do anything, and then all of a sudden you got a date rolling around. You're not going to be able to text these other girls back. So if you're not a player yet, imagine your life is that way, and imagine how would you respond to women in that way. Are you able to text them back 10 times a day? Nope, I wasn't. I was able to text women back maybe 1, 2, or 3 times a day at most for these women before having to fill my schedule with my other stuff up. So again, if you're not a player yet, you got to imagine, right? Women want men that are respected by other men. These are high status men. They're successful in business. They got good careers going, leaders of men, or wanted by other women. Again, guys that have those type of schedules are not free to text women back 10 to 14 times a day and then to try to reschedule with these women multiple times a day when that girl flakes on them. No, those guys go, this girl can't make it. Okay, no problem. Maybe I'll see you again next week or 2 weeks from now. That's the type of mindset you have to have. And that's the type of mindset you want to aspire towards in your lifestyle to become a true player.
And the guys that don't want to become a player, right, Adam, or they don't want to be a playboy. Yeah. I tell them this all the time. You're not going to know what to look for in a woman, number one. Number two, you're not going to know whether or not she's trying to finesse you, whether or not she's using you for your resources, whether or not she's cheating on you, whether or not she has an ulterior motive, whether or not she's manipulating you. You have no idea if you don't play the game, if you've never been a player before. I can spot these women a mile away. I know who the gold diggers are. I know who the thoughts and the 304s are, the promiscuous women. I know who the women are that are going through their hoe phase. I know who the good quality women are. Like, this is what you learn over time. But you can't. Who would you rather go into battle with? I want you guys to understand this. Picture yourself going to battle. It's World War II. Do you want to go in with the guy that has had plenty of battles before? He fought in World War I. He's experienced. He's seen death before. He's experienced death. He has his battlefield scars. Or would you rather go with a young novice who's never been in battle before? I'd rather go with the dude that has battlefield scars, that knows what he's doing, that knows how to handle himself in a situation, that's confident, that can lead me out of there alive. That's the guy I'd rather go with. I don't know about 100%. You guys, but That's exactly how I view it. But once again, you guys are never going to learn how to pass a woman's test, especially when she's in a relationship with you. What are you going to do if you're home and she comes over and she starts giving you an attitude because she had a stressful day at work and she starts getting loud with you? What are you guys going to do? I'm serious. Ask yourself that question. How would you guys react? We teach you how to do that in our courses and the Players University. But if you guys don't know how to pass a woman's test and she's making you tie her shoes, making you carry her purse everywhere she goes, treating you like a slave, do you want that relationship? Or are you too scared to leave her or say anything? So these are the things that have to go through your head when you're dealing with women.
And yeah, and so many guys are like, well, I'm not playing games. If I can text her back, I'm going to text her back. And it's like, okay, do what you want, but you got to understand perception is big with women. Again, they are judging you by how they're receiving you. And if they're receiving you always available to text them back, they're judging you as a guy that's always available for them. Just imagine if there was a girl in your life texting you 7 days a week, trying to hang out with you every single day, and there's a day that you're really, really tired, and you're like, gosh, I had a really tough day at work. I just want to go home and relax. And you're like, I got to cancel on this girl. Okay. You don't feel bad canceling on that girl because you know you can hang out with her again the next day or the day after that. Well, now imagine there's a girl on your phone that is really hard to get. She doesn't text you back that often, and she sets a date with you, and you're feeling really crappy. You're feeling tired. It's like in your head, you're probably going to try to make this date work with this girl because in your mind, you're like, if I don't go on this date with her, I might not hear from her again. It's really hard to get a hold of her. Well, imagine that now you are the guy and she's the girl. That's the same way. So if you're setting that schedule, right, you're not a player yet where you aren't juggling 4 to 5 girls, different girls a week. But if you're making it hard for women to see you, right? If a girl cancels on you and you're just like, hey, no big deal, we can try again in the future, and you're not sitting there reaching out to her all available about, when you can see her again, that girl starts to go, oh, shoot, when this date comes up with this guy, I don't want to miss it because I don't know when I'll get a chance to see him again. And a lot of guys don't put themselves in those shoes where they're realizing that by making it harder for women to hang out with them, it makes women a lot more likely to commit to the plans that they do make with those guys. But when you're the guy that is shuffling around your schedule for women, or this girl cancels on you and you're like, oh, it's okay. Instead of Thursday, I can make Friday work and all that. That girl is sitting there going, there's no urgency. I need to hang out with this guy because if I cancel on him because I have a little tummy ache, I can hang out with him the next day. But again, when you have that solidified, you got something going on in your life that you care about, where you're focused on, you need to devote time and attention to this. Well, now when you set a date with a girl, women respect those dates and they show up because they get the perception that it's hard for you to hang out with them. And when that is the perception, women have way more urgency to go, all right, I committed to this guy to hang out with him on Thursday. Even though I don't feel 100%, I still want to show up because I want to see what this guy is all about. And again, I don't know when I'll get another chance with this guy. But if you're making it too easy for women, they have no urgency, and then they don't respect or desire the time you do set aside for them. So then you're playing the chase game. You're playing the, I better show up with flowers and chocolates because my time is no longer valuable to this girl, so I have to buy her time and attention with my money. That's not the spot you ever want to be in. Again, true players realize that their time is in demand, and that by giving their time to women, they're doing women a favor. And so now these women respect those guys' time rather than the guy that shuffles around their schedule for each and every woman that they're going to hang out with.
And I love what you said. The guys complaining that they don't want to learn the game, too much work. Women are too hard. I'd rather have it easy. If you don't learn the game, if you don't learn how to play the game, the women are going to play it for you. And 99% of the times you will lose, my friend. That's like starting a game of chess without your queen on the board, your most powerful piece that you have. So you guys can do what you want to do. But if you actually take the time to learn the game, go through rejections, understand female psychology, enhance and improve your personality, you're going to do all right. You're going to do all right, especially if you join the Players University. But the next one, you choose a woman that complements your life, fellas. They say that opposites attract, but from my experience and from what I've seen, opposites don't enjoy enriching long-term relationships. It's only temporary. The truth is, couples who are more compatible stay together longer and enjoy a far more intimate relationship. They enjoy more intimacy in a relationship. So you guys choose who you want to be compatible with, who you are compatible with. Back in my days when I didn't have game or I wasn't a player, I would just take whatever I can get, even if the woman wasn't compatible with me. So back then, I wouldn't mind a woman that would smoke a lot of weed. Maybe I would even smoke with her. But now I'm not getting into a relationship with a woman that smokes a lot of weed. I'm just not doing it. Like that's just not something I'm interested in, or a woman that has provocative pictures all over social media. Back in the day, I didn't care about that. But now, I want a woman that is spiritual. She can go to church, she can pray, she reads the Bible, she's God-fearing. Back then, I didn't care if a woman was an atheist or not. So nowadays, these things are important to me, but that's only because I've been with all the other women. I understood what I want in a woman when I get in a relationship with her. These are the traits that I want. And all you guys listening out there, I want you to write down the values that you want a woman to have. Because if everyone is your customer, no one is your customer. So you have to narrow it down, because when you do meet the girl that you want, you'll be ready to know that this is what you want. But you have to learn the game, and you have to become a player first so you can learn how to keep her, how to attract her, how to seduce her, how to make sure you don't lose her. That's why we tell you to get our courses, invest in our courses. And if you don't have the money to invest in what we have to offer, you shouldn't be fucking dating anyways. It's that simple. You shouldn't even be fucking dating anyways or trying to get women. Because if you can't afford our fucking courses, there's no way you're going to be able to afford taking out a girl or even having a girlfriend. Makes no fucking sense to me, guys. But you have to do the work, and you have to actually build your own character, enhance your personality, and the right woman will come along. You'll be able to keep her instead of settling with a woman like all these beta males do, especially at a certain age, out of fear. We never want you to just settle with a woman you don't want to be with. We want you guys to have beautiful women. You're not looking for the one because you will be seen as more laid back without acting needy. You never want to look for the right woman, or you never want to look for a relationship. And we had someone in our seminar, Adam, the first thing he did when he introduced himself was he told us how he's looking for a wife. He's looking for a wife. And what do we tell him? The fastest way to find a woman is by not looking for a woman, is by not looking for a relationship, because you will be seen as more laid back without acting needy. You have a more laid back attitude towards you. You're not thirsty. The quickest way to get a girlfriend is by not looking for a fucking girlfriend. Obviously, know what you want in a woman, but don't be looking for a fucking girlfriend. Okay? You need to build your character and enhance your personality through learning the game. That's the only way. Whatever works for you. Adam, you have your own style that works for you. I have my own style that works for me. I'm still learning things from you.
Yeah, and I think something you said is really important for guys to hone in on about the compatibility piece. And we got to understand that women want to join an already interesting life of a man. She doesn't want to become the center of a man's life. So when we're talking about compatibility, it's not you going on the date and going, oh, this girl likes to knit. Maybe I could enjoy knitting too. And that's something that we could be compatible in. And now you're learning how to knit to be compatible for her life. Compatibility is going, what is your life? Like Czar said, what are your values, your standards? And could a woman be compatible to fit into your life? So you're not going on dates trying to listen to what she says and going, oh, I can learn how to do that. I can learn how to knit and be compatible with her. It's what is already going on in your life, and now you're looking for a helpmate that will help make your life better. Could she be compatible to your lifestyle, but you not changing your lifestyle to be compatible to hers? So that's an important difference too to understand, is that again, you're just looking for women that can make your life better. You're not looking of how you can change your life around and how to fit and be compatible with another woman in her life. That is the big difference between men being leaders, women being followers, is that you're the guy that has your life going on. You already have an interesting life. And is this girl joining in? Is she going to be compatible to your life, or is she going to be combative to your life? You're looking for ones that will enhance your life, not distract your life or turn it in a new direction. And you're definitely not looking of how you can squeak your way in and fit into becoming compatible in her life. So it's got to be, what is your life going on? What are the values you hold? What are the things that you want to do in your life? And can this girl fit into it? For example, right? I like to golf. Now, I don't need to go find another girl that golfs and to become compatible with, but like I've had multiple times, right? I'll go golfing and this girl might go, "Oh, I'll come join your life." She doesn't like golf. She doesn't care about golf, but she's willing to come and cheer me on in my lifestyle. Well, that makes it compatible. I'm already going out golfing. Now she can come along and enhance it by being cute and flirty and just having some fun in the golf cart. But now that's adding to my life rather than me going, "Oh, I've never played croquet before. This girl likes croquet. Well, I'm going to learn how to play croquet so that I can try to join up in her life." That would be the opposite version of how to do this.
Perfectly said, Adam. Perfectly said. And once again, I hope you guys are taking notes, because most of you will just settle for anything that comes your way. And then you realize that this isn't for you, or you just tolerate the bullshit like we used to back in the day. But if you're young, learn this now. The last one is key. When you become a player, you know how to engage with women emotionally, which is key. It's fucking key. That is the holy grail when it comes to women, because women are all about emotions. They're not designed logically like men are. When you know how to engage with those emotions by communicating with her, you're different. You're not one of these boring lames, these teacup rides that she meets on the regular. She's excited to be around you. It doesn't even matter what you guys do together. It could be a $5, $10 date, but she's excited to just be next to you. You're so different. You know how to engage all those beautiful emotions that she's made up of. That's in their DNA. So over time, you learn what women react to, how to engage with their emotions, how to not be boring, because you can never bore a woman. If you're predictable and you're boring, that is the quickest way to lose a woman. Being boring is the kiss of death. You can never be boring with a woman. I'm not telling you to act like a dancing monkey, start dancing, being like a goofball and trying to be a fucking comedian in front of her. No, but we teach you how to engage with women emotionally. With the courses we have, with the seminar you can take with us. Also join the Players University. We'll teach you how to engage with women emotionally. We have modules for you, so you learn the game.
Yeah, maybe like a really quick kind of example about how to engage a woman's emotion. It's just a very subtle, different example is something like, right, when we say, if you were to ask a girl, "What are you up to this weekend?" Well, there's not a lot of emotions there. She just explains what she's up to this weekend. Now, this next version isn't like, "Oh, superior, this is so good," but just to give you an example of a way to engage a woman's emotions in the same type of question is, like Czar likes to say, like, right, "What kind of trouble are you getting into this weekend?" Even that subtle rephrasing, "What kind of trouble are you getting into this weekend?" makes that girl think, not just what am I doing this weekend, but what kind of trouble am I getting into? Now she's at least dipping into other emotions like, "Ooh, trouble. This is kind of exciting." This is those little tiny that's just such a small example, but those are ways when we say engaging a woman's emotions versus not engaging a woman's emotions. Not engaging a woman's emotions is asking the same thing or playing it the same way every other guy does, because that girl's been there before. She's done that before. There's nothing new there, so she doesn't have to really think or react or have any type of emotions towards that. She's just on autopilot. She's just ready to answer that question again. But just adding that subtle, what trouble are you getting into this weekend, is just a small way of her going, ooh, what trouble am I getting into? That's different than the other 7 guys that asked me what I'm doing this weekend. Now she can have a little fun. She can get a little sassy with her response, or she can tell you a little something that's a little bit more exciting or engaging rather than just her boring weekend. So engaging a woman's emotions are a lot of subtle things you do in your communication, but it's different than just the platonic friendship type questions that you would ask with your other buddies or with your girl friends at work. There's just subtle differences, but that is part of the language of women, is just adding these little tiny rephrasing of your ways to get women to engage more in the conversation so that they have skin in the game. And that gets women invested, which gets women more likely to want to spend time with you, see that investment out. So there's a lot of subtle nuances to it, but that's part of, right, becoming a student of the game, is getting excited about learning those subtle nuances.
And Adam, your texting course breaks this down beautifully, because a lot of men, they like to send long, mundane, boring, logical text messages. And we always teach them to cut out the fat. You can condense your message and still convey a powerful message that can engage with her emotions. So that one line I love using, what kind of trouble are you getting into this weekend? No matter what she tells me, or if she says, haha, nothing much or whatever, I'll respond with liar. I got a tip off that you're trying to kidnap me in a white van with no windows. Right? That's engaging. Now it's role play. That's how you engage. Was there anything boring that I said? Now she can laugh and role play like, oh, how did you know? I'm like, listen, it's not my fault that you want me and you find me so attractive.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the type of texts that a girl sees that text from Czar, liar, no, you're doing this and that. And then she's like, what? Whoa, this is weird. And now she has to sit, take his message back, reflect on it, and go, oh, this is fun. How should I play this back? That is getting her to put her thought energy, her emotions into the text, because now she's engaged. Now she's like, this is cool. I can take this different ways. Where's this going to go next? That keeps women engaged in the conversation rather than just the, oh, hope you have fun this weekend. Oh, okay. You're going to go, oh, you're going to go hang out with your friends. Cool. Sounds awesome. I'm going to go to the dog park with my dog. We're going to play fetch. And then I'm going to take him and I'm going to feed him 3 cups of dog chow. Yeah. And then we're going to sit on the couch and watch his favorite dog show together for 2 hours. Yeah. That type of stuff is so boring. Women don't care. No one cares when you say that, but yet some guys still will say that stuff to women because they're like, we're having a conversation, but women are zoning out. So to them, it's not even a conversation, but getting them engaged, calling them out, playfully teasing them. The girl says, oh, I'm not doing anything fun this weekend. Just even teasing her like, God, I didn't take you as such a boring girl. You seem more fun when we met. Just a little text like that. Now that girl's like, oh, interesting. I got to be more interesting. And now she's trying to make her text more interesting to her, but she's putting her emotions and her thought into it. Those are the small, subtle differences, but they happen over and over and over again. The longer you talk to women, there's so many opportunities for men to make them more fun, make them more emotionally engaging.
And I always go back to Hank Moody, Mr. Hank Moody. If you guys watch Californication, he is a master at knowing how to engage with women's emotions. That's why they're so obsessed with him. They keep chasing him because they meet a lot of lames that don't give them those same feelings he does. And it's very important. If you guys know how to tap into a woman's emotions, man, you can make her do anything you want. Literally anything. And I want to make a statement here that we're not telling you guys to go chase women and forget about your purpose, your hobbies, your passion. No, we're not telling you that. But anytime you see a beautiful woman, go approach her, learn the game, talk to everyone. We used to compliment the cashier at a grocery store, no matter if she was old, young, didn't matter. Oh wow, you have such beautiful blue eyes. Are they sky blue or are they a dark blue? I can't tell. Like you learn how to build on attracting women and learning how to communicate with women with those little conversations that go a long way. But you have to learn to drop your ego, get off your phone, and start talking and communicating with as many people as you can. That's the only way. The tongue is the only instrument that gets sharper with every use. So if you don't use your tongue, I'm not talking about sexually either, you're never gonna have a silver tongue of persuasion, as I call it. You're never gonna have the gift of the gab.
Yeah, everyone wants to play basketball like Michael Jordan because when you see him out in the court and you see him with the cameras on, he's so polished, he's so good. But nobody wants to watch his thousands upon thousands of hours doing all sorts of drills, all these little step back shots, all these little shots from this corner or that corner that he might only take one of them every 2 games, but he's still practicing those shots when no eyes are on him. But practicing all these little skills gets it so when I'm at the bar and my buddies are like, Adam, you won't approach that girl. I'm like, yeah, I will. And I go do it. It's magic to them, but they didn't see all the times that I was talking to the cashier, just trying to get comfortable talking to women. They didn't see all the times I was talking to the girls in my classes at school just to get practice with conversations with women. All the guys that text me and they go, Adam, how'd you get so good at texting? They didn't see all of the beta texts I had years and years ago of doing every single thing wrong with women and having to reconstruct that, reflect, okay, how can I make this better? How can I have a different game plan? They see the finished product and people want the finished product, but the practice is how you get the finished product. So practicing these skills, just chatting with the cashier, saying hi to them, the people, random people standing next to you in line that you'll never see again, saying hi to them, making up small conversations. Those little practices are what make the finished product, but no one cares to talk about the stuff that's not in the limelight. But the dirty work, all those little things are what build to the grand show.
100%. They all want to see the polished material, but they never want to see what it took for you to get there. But everyone
Yep.
has their own journey. Everyone has their own journeys. And remember, it's the journey that matters, not the destination. It's the side of the mountains that sustain the top, not the top. So you guys have to embrace this journey, embrace getting rejected, build your armor. If she doesn't like you, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who fucking cares? Women nowadays, they have a shorter attention span than a dog, from what research shows. So she's going to forget about you anyways, but at least it's more practice for you. I'd rather a guy tell us in the Players University, you know what, Adam, Czar, I went out 7 times in a row, 7 days out of the week. I got rejected all 7 times. I'd tell him, good, go get rejected 7 more times.
I remember the failures. Failures is how I learned. When I was had a great date with the women, I learned a lot less than the women that I had a sticking point with or women where there was an awkward moment in it. I learned way more from those women because then I sat back and reflected about why did that go wrong or why was there an awkward moment. When everything went good, it was I reflected back. I was like, oh, that was a good date. But the failures are where you learn. I would much rather guys share their naked, honest truths about their failures because now we can go, great, let's talk about that. What here? What was your mindset going into that? Or what did you say? Or what could you say differently next time? Because now there's a learning moment. But when everything goes smooth or guys pretend it went all smooth and they think there's nothing to work on, then there's nothing to improve either.
Yeah, a great sailor is one that's handled rough waves before. That's what makes a great sailor, not the one that's had smooth waves, no type of temporary defeats, no type of failures, no type of hardships. That doesn't make a great sailor.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave it on that. Do you have anything else to say, Prince?
No, I think that's a good one to end on. And I don't know about you, Czar, but I love it. I love when a guys get those first wins or the first couple wins. They're like, man, this is so cool. Like it brings me back to like those light bulb moments. That's the
Mm.
coolest thing about, learning anything new is when you like struggle with something and then something clicks and then you just have this like new wisdom about something and you see it with new eyes. Those are my favorite things. So, any of you guys listening, we want you to be some of those next guys getting those eureka light bulb moments. So join up the players community. The link will be in the show notes below.
Yeah, and guys, I wish I had this community when I was fucking going through this game. I wish I had this shit or a tight knit
Me
community.
too.
I didn't have shit. You had to learn on your own the old school way, taking notes, writing things down, being creative. But now you have the minds of someone who have had over 15 years of experience doing this.
I know, Zard, do you remember when it was like you and your notebook? Like I remember there's so many times like I was trying to it was like me and my notebook and that was the only thing or my books. I was like it was me and talking to my books was the only advice I had because guys around me didn't understand. They had no game. They weren't at the same level. So it was like me with myself trying to defeat the game. But now you got all these other men in there, plus two experienced guys in there to help you learn the game.
Mhm.
100% would wish I had this growing in my game experience. But
Yeah, you guys have all the tools now. And shout out to Rich, who's one of the youngest members in the Players University. He has been killing it. Killing it. He is learning the game. And sometimes you have to unearth someone's confidence that they've had hidden inside of them. And I think it takes
yeah,
one or two people to spark that fire that they had inside of them the entire time. And that's the state men are in. So we have to stick together, stick with each other. You have a great community of men right now. Take advantage of it, especially before April 15th. Don't be a fool. Take
yeah.
advantage of it.
There's been two or three times just in the last couple of days I've gone in to answer a question. I already see Rich has commented and he's given this like paragraph response. I'm like, there's nothing I could add. Rich just
Mhm.
said everything perfectly. Well done. Like normally I go in there, I'm like, okay, good. Czar's already commented. Awesome. We
Mhm.
got this taken care of. But then it's like all of a sudden I see Rich. I'm like, Rich has commented, awesome. There's nothing I can add. He just said everything I would have said right there. Great. So that's the coolest part of this is like we want to create guys that are so good that they can help other guys. And we're just like, yeah, there's nothing I would add to that. And that's what's starting to happen, which is really cool.
And the best way to learn, they say, is actually by teaching other people. They say that is the
Yep.
best way to learn. So we're proud of you, Rich. We also have another member in there, Jay. Jay has been killing it. He's older. He's I think he's in his 30s, but let me tell you something, man. This dude is a real stud. A real stud. And I know he gets women because he was part of my Discord channel, but now he's part of the Players University. And you guys have some great coaches in there. Make sure you guys spread our channel, comment, subscribe, leave a review. It helps with the algorithm. We do this for you guys. We're fucking tired. We're exhausted. I'm about to go to the gym right after this, work out legs, but we took the time out. We do this every week for you guys. Okay. So we deserve it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll end with this. I was golfing today and a girl's coming over tonight and she told me she'd buy me a hard cider for every par I made. And I sent her my scorecard after I had 14 pars. I shot a 77 today. So she's going to be bringing over 14 hard ciders for me tonight.
I love that. Adam gets hard ciders from a girl. I got a girl that wanted nothing more
Every
to do with
par.
me. I got a girl
I
that technically ended it with me. She didn't want anything casual. Adam's having a girl come over. It all comes full circle, right? That's part of the game. But next week's podcast will come up with a good theme for you guys, a good topic. If anyone has a good one in the Players University, let us know. You guys get
Yep.
first dibs.
And if
Okay.
you're hearing our voice, join up the Players University. We want to hear you. We want to answer your questions. We want to see your wins. Join up, and you will hear from Czar and I real soon when you join up.
Thank you so much, guys. We love you all. Take no prisoners in this dating game, guys. Take no fucking prisoners.
Put that full armor of game on at all times. Play till the end of the whistle at all times. All right. See you guys next week.
Take care.